Welcome back. I'm Gaby Sandoval.
And I'm Jason Gravstitch.
And this is Self-Projecting, where we show each other movies and we never change our opinion.
Hey, welcome to our spoiler warning. There's a lot.
This week I brought in 2015's We Are Still Here.
A movie I'd never heard of, which is like, I love when I find a horror movie. I know, I'm like, okay, I feel like I know a lot about horror, but I love when I just have no idea.
And We Are Still Here, we follow the Sacchetti family who just experienced I was going to say elderly son, but their son has recently passed. They want to get away from it all, so they buy a little house in this town that's a little too spooky.
There's a little mystery around there.
Some, obviously, doom ensues.
What I loved is, like, they really did buy this house, and immediately the townspeople are like, so, you know the history, right? I'm like, do they never Google the history?
When the house was being built, it was built on top of not a portal, but built on top of, some demon grounds.
Another realm.
Which was driving everyone mad.
And so basically that family is now haunting the people that moved in.
The Sacchettis, yeah. The Sacchettis come in. They're dealing with trauma.
Generational trauma.
They're dealing with the recent loss of a son.
Trauma.
And one thing I did enjoy is, like, usually in movies when a kid passes, they're usually very young, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This kid was, like, in college.
Yeah,
so
like
I really
20,
enjoyed that dynamic because I'm choosing my words here because I don't want to be like, oh, like, I'm not comparing traumas here. I'm just saying really seeing a family or a parents experience someone they've known long.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's my kid. That's my teenage kid. So the mom is hearing voices in Bobby. She's like, I feel like Bobby's in this house. Bobby's in the house.
That's the opening scene is she's like, immediately move in and she's like, I hear him. I know he's around.
I'm so glad we moved here, Bobby. Bobby joined.
Bobby's here. And the dad is, of course, more resistant to it. And it's like...
Typical dads
I
in
don't know if it's
film.
Bobby. Like, we kind of came here for a new start. So he was, like, very much pushing...
Weren't we trying to leave Bobby behind?
Yeah, which I thought was interesting, too. But you do need that dynamic to make it, like, I guess...
Friction. You need conflict.
Yeah, you need something. So that's conflict. And then shortly into their stay...
The McCabe's come over.
They come over, they sit on the couch, they're like... And then they give kind of the exposition of, like, you know... Well, they were very vague about it, though. They're like, yeah, it's been a long time since anyone's lived here. And then they kept... what I love is when they do these things, it's like, obviously the audience kind of picks up on it, because we know it's a horror movie, but they're like, yeah, this house really needs new souls.
Really needs a family in here.
Yeah, it needs a family. It's really important. It's like...
What did you think of the friends?
One of them, the wife was... a medium or a psychic.
Yes.
And so she was like...
Played by Lisa Marie, which I love seeing her in a movie.
And she was good in this, and she was like, look, I'll come, we'll spend the weekend together, have fun, and I'll, like, try to see if I can if your son is here. And, interestingly, she says he's not. But we'll get to that at the end. But she was like, I don't feel him, but I feel, obviously, tons of other things.
This isn't Bobby.
This isn't Bobby. These demons are terrifying. I will give... This movie is creepy in that, like... It's good with the claustrophobia feel. You're down there because they also amplify that it's really hot down there.
Yeah, they're like, oh!
Because it also is like kind of hell in a way, and like
they're very well designed because they're not CGI'd. I think they're real people in all black, and the contacts were great because they also seem like coagulated jelly eyes.
The only CGI they have is like to add like kind of heat.
Add sizzles.
Yeah.
And I love that take on if a demon or something from another realm touches you, it's going to burn the hell out of you because that's where they come from. Which I've never seen that take on something, you know? Like,
yeah,
they're always just like, wah! Or they're always...
Yeah, you could feel the heat when they got near, and they would... How they killed,
breaking bones.
Two friends who visited, like, putting their hands through and it would burn.
Oh,
like,
I love...
Damn, that would have hurt.
Have...
I felt bad. Okay, so they're... the friends who are visiting... their son and his girlfriend are coming to visit as well, but they like die before they even know that they're there because they come in, they're like, okay, I'm gonna make myself at home because they're out. He immediately goes to the basement. Like, I feel like he dies within 2 minutes of being in that house, which was also shocking. You're like, oh, he didn't get a second to like sit down because he goes in, he's like, this is great, and then like he's killed, and then she almost escapes. She does get on the road, but apparently he got in the damn car with her.
I do love a death during the day.
Yes.
The girlfriend.
Which is pretty much all of them in this movie.
Are you over the trope of basements?
No.
Really?
I love basements.
I want to see a haunted garage. Do you like a basement over an attic? I do like a basement over an attic.
Yeah.
This is me. Attics are always haunted. I've had an unfinished basement my whole life. I'm like, this is another day in the neighborhood.
We had a haunted basement.
You?
So maybe that's what. Yeah, my first house, we had one. All 4 siblings. When we were like going through there, we'd be like kind of scared and like, because there was like 2 parts of it. So if you were like in one side, the other half was like off. So we'd just be looking into darkness, and we'd all be like, "There's something down here." And so when you turn off the lights too, we all did that thing. We like ran up.
You're running up the stairs.
I had nightmares about it. My brother had nightmares about the basement. We all had nightmares about it.
Yeah.
At different age levels too, because I'm 10 years younger than my like sister, and she was also all the same way. And like,
Yeah.
So we were all. It wasn't just because we were kids. You know.
Let's just say it was confirmed that it was
confirmed.
haunted.
But that's why I like this too. I was like, I really do feel like the claustrophobia of the basement, because you have to also run up too. I think that's like a good part of it. Like, okay, to get out,
We've all been there.
You better hope no one's gonna grab your ankle, dude.
I just love the amounts of blood that come out
Yeah.
of people. I don't know why. I think it was kind of overdone, but I enjoyed that.
It was, but I really appreciate it. It was also indie.
Yeah.
And the way that they still go for it in an indie film.
Lisa
they really
Marie,
got to go
she
gross.
opens the door, head shot, blood splatter onto the camera, which I love that shot.
Which introduces the other villain is like the town.
The town.
Which you're getting an idea that they're kind of a cult-like.
They always make deals with the realms. And I'm like, why are you talking to these demons? Like, hey, house. So it turns out you have to give the house food.
Every 30
30
years
years.
it needs it. Which I'm like, how did they even figure that out? But whatever.
Folklore.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, that's the rules, so we're going to start.
Let's add it to our hand-drawn book.
So then they're like so excited when this family comes in. Well, they're confused because they're like, it's been 2 weeks. Why hasn't this demon's taken them yet?
Yeah.
And so this is where it starts to come in. Like, is Bobby there?
Is
kind of
Bobby
low-key
there
protecting them.
rallying? And the townspeople come to really push them into the basement. I don't know what their intentions were. The mob mentality, like, let's all go to this house and let's push this family to the basement, or let's talk to the demons and say, take them.
Yeah, that
But,
was a little bit like, I guess they were just, trying to like Q&A the demons, be like, what's
No.
going on? The
guy-
lead old guy.
The late
yeah.
older man. He comes and he's talking a lot of shit to this family, like, F you, this is how we run. But then, guess what? His eyeball, he gets burned.
Yeah.
And in some weird way, these creatures kind of make a pact with the couple of, like, and I love a good nod between people of, like, good game.
Yeah.
We're good here.
Game respects game.
We're even here. And I wonder if it's because the realm was like, we've been cheated by this man running this town.
Yeah.
I just heard your little plan, dude.
Yeah.
So you've been belittling us. The villain is the town.
Which sucks, because it's like...
I got a text from Jason. This town sucks ass, dude.
I was really mad. I actually wrote it in my notes, too. I was like, wow, these people suck. And again, they think they're, like, kind of doing good and, like, keeping peace. And it's like, you actually are horrible people. And they did not hide themselves well. When they went to the bar, the local bar, and everyone just turns and, like, the pool table...
I love the shot where she's like, get out of the house, and just in a pool of blood, and her own husband stabbed and killed her.
Yeah, the
'Cause he
main evil
probably
man's
found
wife was,
out-
like, low-key feeling bad the whole time.
She was trying to
It's like-
signal the whole time. She
let them know.
She was in an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
probably, because she wanted to get out. She wanted everyone to get out of that
Oh, yeah,
town.
because she's, like, bleeding out, and she's like, it's actually not the house you need to be worried about. It's my man.
house. It's she's not calling him my man at that point.
No, I know she didn't say that, but I mean, that's what she's heavily implying. As she dies, I'd be like, fuck this.
And then the
like,
stab.
my
there's
life
a-
kind of worthless.
There's a
but-
stab to the neck and splatter.
Yeah.
The blood supply was great in this movie.
Love the blood.
Love the creatures. Love the gore.
I love just an indie horror it was fat. It's like an hour 20.
Mm-hmm.
Moves at a quick pace. Bloody finale. And cool demons.
And we also love a woman in bangs going through it.
She was in bangs. I was like, oh, she is like actually...
She's in
feeling
pain.
it. I mean, they think they see Bobby, which I love. I love
Did
an
you like the
ambiguous
ending?
ending. I did.
Hey, Bobby.
I love that it was a happy ending, but still, it's like, you lost it. It's like, if I were the friends on the other side, I'd be like, why did I have to freaking die for you to get your way?
Yeah, I'd be in the basement like, yeah, say my name too while I'm at it, because I fucking died here. But I'm saying yes to this. Because I did like it. Love indie horror.
Moving on. Jason, what did you show us this week?
I brought Pontypool, which is a movie I watched for the first time last year, and it was like unlike anything I'd ever seen. So I don't love the zombie genre, but this is like something that is in that realm, but still like way different enough that it's not the same kind of things. So if you're kind of burnt down on that genre, but you want something new,
A new take on the zombie.
watch Pontypool. So it follows this like radio host and his two producers. Kind of typical day starts, he does his morning show, and then things start to unroll where he starts to get calls in the town about strange behavior starting. They're like, people are starting to act erratic out there, and it's all in one location, but
Which we love.
it's him doing his show as he's getting calls and trying to figure out what's going on out there. I love this movie because it's truly not anything like you would expect is going on, and it's, I don't know, in a way, to me, it's about just how we talk too damn much and like actually don't say anything of value. I don't know. I really do love this movie because I think you can put so many interpretations on it.
Yeah.
But basically in this movie we learn that the English language is what's infected, and it's spreading through the language itself, and when you use certain words or understand it's so abstract, which is what I like.
Yeah, it's like a web. You really do need a whiteboard to show the
You
rules
do.
of this movie.
I mean, I watched it twice now, and I feel like I get it, but it's still hard to explain.
It's hard to articulate, which I think that's beauty of it too.
But that's fun.
Because if you understand it, you're going
and
to
you
get
don't
infected.
want to understand it, so then you and the people who get infected start just babbling and repeating the same phrases, and then they just
There's a
start
word. There's a word that makes you say it over and over and over until you infect someone else with words.
But you don't know until you understand it a certain way, and then you get infected. So it's like such an abstract breakout, and you're wondering if it's going to happen to these people in the station, and I love hearing the calls of like people kind of going through it as well. You're learning through people calling in and being infected live in real time. So Pontypool is just such an interesting zombie movie, and I truly recommend it. You have to go in and be like,
You have to go in and listen.
you do have to
okay?
listen and just like really follow it. I would honestly recommend turning on subtitles because they're explaining a lot too. It's honestly,
The
for me, it was easier to
Doctor.
just read it. I love the Doctor. He was so erratic,
Dr.
but I loved
Mendes.
it.
He was awesome. What I love about the movie, what I enjoyed was, first of all, the first words that get infected are baby talk, or words of like sweet nothings.
So like
and I
honey,
found that
sweetheart,
babe,
stuff like that. Babe,
I can't
yes.
even say that word. But I don't like those words, and maybe I would survive because I use those words as condescending. Like because when I say, sweetie, I'm looking down on you. Listen, babe.
Yeah.
Like, I would never call a loved one those words because I don't like them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I love that commentary of like, couples are out. Couples are out immediately, which I
People who are, like-
love. Goodbye.
And kind of use language for nothing, like, because like
Again,
again, just
sweet
typical
nothings.
literally sweet nothings. And that's a very smart thing about the virus too. It's like, okay, we're gonna infect these words first because people use them for no reason. I think this movie really is about using your words carefully and like speaking with intent, and I don't know.
And I also love the reveal that it's just the English language that gets attacked. So if you're not bilingual, please.
Because the French police come in at the end and they're like speaking French, obviously, because they're fine.
They both speak French.
They start speaking French,
and then
too.
the doctor's Armenian, so speaking Armenian, and he's just like, the doctor was amazing because I love that he just popped in a window, a snowing window.
Woo! It's crazy out there, and then he
does.
like, and then he sits in the sound booth with them, and
He's like, that girl you're working with, she's infected, so we should go into the sound booth.
yeah, one of the producers gets infected
Which
midway.
I felt awful for her.
I felt really bad.
Her word was missing.
Anymore. I don't miss Mr. Massey. I don't miss Mr. Massey. I'm not missing anymore, Sydney.
I asked you, what do you think? What word would take you out?
That I would have to like understand and get. Oh God, I don't know.
Whoa.
Whoa. Maybe it's whoa.
Maybe I'd get an onomatopoeia is gonna take me out.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's like, oh my God.
God. What?
Mine would be something dumb like coffee or something. I don't know.
Coffee.
The coffee. I love when they get infected.
That's
too,
when you
because
know someone's a PA. Coffee, the coffee.
It probably is. Yeah, no, that is so true.
I understand what I'm doing. I'm getting
these people coffee.
I'm getting them flavored water. It's burnt water. It's coffee.
Yeah, it's like when you really get. I love that. I would have loved to act out a scene where you're like, I wanted to have a scene where I'm like.
Yeah, and the horror isn't really in the death. There's only a couple scenes, but they're well earned and they pay off. Like the producer who gets stuck on missing, they're in
A sound booth.
They're in a sound booth, and because the glass is so hard, she's just banging her head against it. I think at one point she burns herself. She looks so because she's alone, and I wish they would have opened the door and let her find someone else to like infect or be, because it was kind of cruel the way she was really attacking herself because the virus is supposed to infect other people.
Because she needs to infect someone with words
With
as
the
well.
word.
So because she didn't have that, and because they were in a sound booth, she couldn't hear them.
Yeah, she couldn't hear them.
So she's just going crazy.
She's trying to read their lips. She bites her own lip off. She
What do you think this movie's about? Because I feel like there's so many interpretations you can put on it. But because I go back and forth, like, obviously, like, we say too much but don't mean anything, or I don't know, in a way it's almost maybe conspiracy theories, like how we just believe anything and we're just like...
But also I love the way that the lead is the radio, right? So about how he's able to help spread information for good and for bad. Because at the beginning...
He starts it by the...
He's kind of like that boomer, like he's like, I don't care.
Yeah. He's like, I don't give a shit, I'm going to say what I want to say.
And then low key, you should care.
Because words have impact and
meaning.
And can really infect people. This is why I think it's about conspiracy theories, because like people say anything all the time, and the more you say it, the more you really believe it, and you can influence other people that way for the worse and like affect their mind and kind of make them lose their minds. And I don't know. So that's why I really like this movie. To me, I'm again self-projecting, putting to me it's like kind of like I don't want to say Joe Rogan, but because he's honestly not even the worst, but like something like that where he just has a huge following and influence, and he can kind of just say whatever he wants, and people really will buy.
Take it and go,
and not really investigate. And like, okay, your words are. It's kind
of
is true.
It's kind of meta because we're on a show right now.
I know.
We were empowered to do this show. I think not to be full of ourselves to do the actual opposite of what most people do with podcasts and talk shows.
Yeah.
Like we're self-projecting. And we're not changing our opinions.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily asking you to change yours.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I think,
even though we
too.
joke, see, I'm getting serious. Like, even though I joke, I'm like, you should like this. I'm like, it's making me more firm in myself. And in being more firm in myself, my opinions, I don't need you or to spread negative, not negativity, but like the way that the understanding.
Because it's easier.
I'm glad I'm losing my words, because if I did find the right words, I'm infected.
You being infected. Well, yeah, it's just like, well, maybe it's also because it's just easier to say kind of nothing and not really believe your words and whatever.
That makes me feel good, because a lot of people say that they don't understand me or they can't hear me or speak up. But I'm like, actually, I can't find the words because I'm not just spitting any random words out.
Because, you're like, I'm actually trying to be truthful in what I say and with intent. And I don't know, this movie's so interesting. And then I love how they try to remedy at the end. They're like, okay, we got to find an antidote because the main girl she gets kill.
That's her word. Kill.
Killing. And so they're like, okay, well, how can I fix this? Like, and he finds the way. It's just to say something completely like kill is kiss or whatever.
He redefines the word.
It's like you actually don't understand it because I'm saying it's this, and just repeat it meaning something else to be. I don't know. That was interesting.
Yeah, then she says kill me, and then they kiss. Kill me. And they're stuck on that. And then I was like, okay, cute.
The ending of, I will admit, it kind of horror.
It's kind of horror rom-com at the end.
Yeah,
but I like that take because like
it's interesting.
Whenever people try to do horror rom-coms, it's like always like a Wrist Cutters type or like what's the one with Nicholas Hoult where he's the zombie?
Warm Bodies.
Yeah. It's always cheeky and like my ear fell off. Yeah. Let's listen to music together. But this I thought was like in a real horrific setting. Can two people connect?
And to me, honestly,
they were connecting over. They were connecting over not understanding the same words. They're connecting not over language, which was kind of beautiful too.
I know, I like that.
It was nonverbal connection, but
it's kind of a manic just ending of they're just saying words, then they somehow are communicating.
It was a drag on the English language. It was drag on America. It was a drag on the English language.
Yeah, again, I love that it was like it's
couples.
just English, guys. That's infected. Yeah, English got infected because we're dumb.
English is the hardest language to learn, right? Yeah, when people are learning languages,
and it kind of doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's a good point. English really is like one of those languages that
everything we do is opposite. Like even with like kilogram, like
we don't even use the same metrics as the world.
Not at the same time. We just do our own thing, and what has that done? Just caused
chaos.
And not to be full of ourselves, but I think maybe we get along too because we have different. We're both bilingual. We're both like offbeat bilingual. Like my dad's from Mexico. I understand a lot of Spanish. Jason comes from an ASL household.
Yes,
which I think
was my first language, but I forgot a lot of it.
Yeah, he fluent.
But
I used to watch novellas and get them too. So I love that because maybe we wouldn't we would have some hope
Yeah, maybe we would
to
have
survive
really
Pontypool.
learn.
What'd you think of the lead? Was he an anti-hero to you?
I liked him, but he was an asshole, which adds a good complexity to him. Because
I'm a sucker for that type of character.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of it shows an era of a mind of a person that you don't really see anymore. I don't want to say manly, but like that cowboy, like I'm gonna say what I'm gonna need to say.
Yeah, he was literally wearing a cowboy hat, so
and just like F him.
Yeah.
But I like that, and we were talking, Jason and I were talking, it is kind of nice to have a conservative boss sometimes, because, like, their lack of care in certain aspects is good for you, because you're like, good, I'm going home early.
Yeah, like, look,
I'm going home to my old ball and chain. Can I go home to mine? And they're like, go get him. And
yeah,
you're like,
in a way, I actually did find that endearing. I was like, okay, that, I would appreciate being around that in some regards.
And if you want to slip some alcohol in your coffee, go for it.
Oh, yeah,
man.
he was like, that was his, like, hand.
He's like, let's do this radio show, because that is the perk of radio. No one's seeing what you're up to.
No one.
What you're up to, what you're drinking.
Yeah, I did like him a lot. I thought he was a good lead. They had a good dynamic because she was very, no, we need to report the facts. We're not going to do anything that's like not true. You can't just be spouting anything that you think. Like, we're actually doing a show that informs people. So you can't just. So they had a good like back and forth and kind of put it in, reflected the meaning of the movie in general. Like.
But I think those two are great two leads because they're two sides of a different story. It's like, do you be unapologetic? It's like it's showing the both sides of the spectrum. He's very unapologetic with his words and his language and what he's saying, and she's more mindful.
Yes,
and it's like the spectrum. So it's going to show you really do need a healthy balance of the both, which is why I think they both survive together.
Yeah, you can't just be like censored all the time, but you can't just also spout and every thought you have. So
that's my problem. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to say whatever. And it's like, actually, not to you guys. Because you guys, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it's really about finding the right people to be unapologetic with.
Yeah.
And then learning to have media training with other people and be like, so happy to be here.
Yeah. I liked it.
Thrilled.
It's one of those movies really that I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about this a little bit. And it helps a lot on a second watch too. Like watching it for a second time helped me like kind of put more pieces together.
Yeah.
I really recommend it. And if you're kind of bored of typical zombie stuff or even just typical horror movies,
I wouldn't belittle it by calling it a zombie film.
But it kind of is. It's an outbreak film then.
Ooh, have you seen Outbreak?
I don't think so.
Well.
Oh. Maybe it's on there. But yeah, so I really like this movie.
I liked it too.
You giving it a yes?
I mean, I love what it means that I love enjoying watching it. Sometimes. Hello, welcome to a new segment we just created called Rapid Recs in honor of Friday the 13th.
In a minute, you're getting 5 recs from each of us. All right, my rapid recs to get into the Friday the 13th mood is Friday the 13th Part 7. It is underrated and super creepy and gives all the cabin feels. The Fog, 1980, directed by John Carpenter. Amazing, atmospheric, also led by a radio host. So good, perfect, creepy Halloween night movie. Malignant, 2021, twisty, fun, James Wan, realness, campy, 80s, we love. The Loved Ones, which is an underrated Australian horror about a prom night turned deadly. It's gross, it's very like, if you like Saw, it's creepy like that.
Starting off with Jason X, 2001, I think it's very underrated in the franchise. You got some good deaths, you got space, you got AI. 1991, The Silence of the Lambs. Psychological, one of the first movies I saw, came out the year of my birth. Lost Boys, 1987. You've got Cute Boys, you got the Coreys, you got Kiefer Sutherland, you got a great soundtrack. I love that movie. It really gets me into the vampire feels. 13 Ghosts, 2001. Love this movie. I brought it to a sleepover. Alicia Thomas had a panic attack. We called her mom. Me and my sister were like, she's so annoying. Flash forward 20 years later, my sister's having a panic attack. She's saying we shouldn't have made fun of Alicia. And also, I really love the ghosts in that movie. And ending with 2000's Urban Legends Final Cut. I love. We're dealing with film school. That's horrific enough.
Okay, this has been another episode of Self-Projecting.
Tune in next week. I'll be bringing in The Cell.
And I will be bringing in Relic. Good night.
Good night and good luck.